Hi everyone, we are from Study Team. So today we're gonna do a presentation about the consumer behavior. So let's start with the introduction.
Hi everyone, my name is Gumesan and my metric number is 286819. Now let me start with some general information about important definition. So first of all, let's look at the definition of consumer. A consumer is defined in economics as someone who pays to consume goods and services produced by a seller such as a company or organization. After that, the study of how consumers spend their money as a consequence of their preferences and financial restriction is known as consumer theory. Next, what is the meaning of consumer behavior? The consumer behavior refers to the study of consumer while they are engaged in the consuming process. And to put in other words, consumer behavior is study of how individuals decide to spend their available resources, such as time, effort, and money on consumption-related items. And it needs to study what people buy, why, when, and where they buy it, as well as how often they buy and how they use the purchased goods. In addition, consumer behavior is affected by 5 main factors, which are psychological factors, social and cultural factors, economic factors, and personal factors. Okay, now I would like to move on to the next part, which is the theory of consumer demand. The consumer demand is defined as consumer desire and capacity to acquire a certain number of products and services in a certain period of time. However, desire requires purchasing power to be converted into effective demand. After that, the theory of consumer choice is based on microeconomics, specifically preferences for consumer spending, which has an influence on consumer demand curve. Well, the last one is the theory of utility. The theory of utility in economics is developed from the concept of usefulness. So in economics, utility refers to the pleasure a customer obtains from a service or a good. And customers make every effort to choose item wisely to enhance their utility. So obviously, different individuals might experience different amount of usefulness from the same goods. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Tan Jinwen. My trade number is 287017. Now I would like to introduce the research methodology. In this report, we have used two types of data, which is primary data and secondary data. For primary data, a survey about consumer behavior with 24 respondents was conducted. And for the secondary data, some journals, articles, websites, and reference book has been used to explain the finding of the survey.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth and my matrix number is 286229. So now I will continue the presentation. In this survey, there are two objectives. The first objective is to identify the consumer behavior in different situations like brands, price of goods, consumers' income, and online purchasing. The second objective is to interpret how the price of goods and consumers' income influence their behavior between good A and good B.
My name is Ko Shijie. My metric number is 286745. Now I will continue to present the Part A respondent breakdown. To complete this survey, 24 respondents have been found to help to fill in the survey. These respondents are selected from the group members' family, friends, and general public, and it consists of different genders, ethnicity, and age. 4.1 Gender. In this survey, 6 of the 24 respondents are male and the percentage is 25%, while the female respondents are taking out 18 of the 24 respondents and the percentage is 75%. The difference between male and female is 12 people or 15%. In short, the number of female respondents is more than the male respondent in this report. The mode of the gender of respondent is female. Next is 4.2 Ethnicity. Chinese respondents have accounted for more than half of the total respondents, which is 18 people or 75%. The second largest ethnicity for the number of respondents is Malay. The number of Malay respondents is 3 with the percentage of 12.5%. At the same time, the percentage of Indian and other respondents are 8.33% and 4.17% respectively. The difference between the highest number of respondents Chinese and the lowest number of respondents other is 17 people or 70.83%. In this report, Chinese is the mode of the respondent ethnicity. Next is 4.3 Age. The number of respondents for the age below 13 is the highest, which is 19 people or 79.16%. Conversely, the number of respondents for the age 31 to 14 and above 51 are the lowest compared to other age, which is only 1 respondent or 4.17% respectively. For the age 41 to 15 years old, the number of respondents is only 3 people, which is 12.5%. In short, most of the respondents are aged below 13.
My name is Chai Sing Wu. My metric number is 285874. I will present about the preferences of consumers to purchase goods or products depending on their brands. The given statement is, I prefer to purchase goods or products depending on their brands. Based on the survey, most of the respondents, which is 12 out of 24 respondents, prefer to purchase goods or products depending on their brands, which means that the respondents are highly aware of that brand. The capacity to recall and recognize the brands is referred to as consumer brand awareness. According to Investopedia 2021, utility refers to the value or satisfaction a buyer can get from a product or service. Consumers will help the brand develop by spreading their brand through word of mouth if they are satisfied with the brand. For the next research is about preferences of customers to purchase branded goods, even if the price is high. The given statement is, even if the price is high, I'm glad if I can buy branded goods. According to the data, a greater part of the respondents, which is 10 out of 24 respondents, keep a moderate attitude towards the statement, which shows preferences to buy branded products regardless of whether the price is high, because they wanted to buy branded goods but were concerned about the high price. Most of the consumers have a limited amount of income to spend on the things that they want. They will think twice and compare prices across markets before making a choice. Based on the survey, the consumer behavior can be explained through this figure. A budget line is a descending inclining straight line that addresses generally possible mixes of the two products that a client might buy at a given market price by allotting all of their pay. However, a range outside the budget line, which is K, will be beyond the reach of the consumer to purchase. Thus, most of the respondents maintain a moderate attitude towards this statement, because the budget exceeds purchasing power due to the high-priced branded goods, but they will still consider buying after deliberation.
Hi, my name is Majasin and my matrix number is 285185. Now I will continue the presentation with the preference of customer to increase purchase if their income rise. The given statement in this survey is, if my income rise, I will increase my purchase of goods with the assumption of ceteris paribus. The average result for this survey is that most respondents agree that they would increase the purchase of goods when their income rise. This figure is an example of budget constraints show that the effect of a change in income on the budget line. If the income rise, the budget line BL1 will shift outward parallel to BL2. Goods X and Y that consumers can afford to buy increase. This theory supports the respondent opinion collected in this report, which most of them agree that they will purchase more if their income increase. Next research is about the preference of customers to increase their purchase if the price of goods is low. The given statement is, if the price of goods is low, I will increase my purchase assumption of ceteris paribus. The average result for this survey is that most respondents agree that they would increase the purchase of goods when the price of goods is low. This figure is an example of budget constraints show that the effect of a change in price on the budget line. When the price of good A falls, the budget line rotates outward from A to A1. The quantity of good A that consumers afford to purchase increase from A to A1. In brief, both of the respondent opinion and theory of budget constraint depict that consumer will purchase more if the price of goods is low. That's all from me. Thank you.
The statement of 5.5 is about the preference of customers to buy goods online rather than in person. So based on the table and the graph, we can see that there are 4 respondents disagree, 7 respondents moderate, 6 respondents agree, and 7 respondents strongly agree with this statement. The overall result proves that the respondents have perceived online shopping in a positive manner. According to the survey IJCRT, most of the consumers prefer online shopping and most of them are young people. This finding is sent as our respondent opinion. So next, the statement of 5.6 is about the preference of customer purchasing goods online is more convenient and cost-effective. So based on the table and the graph, we can see that there are 3 respondents disagree, 5 respondents moderate, 10 respondents agree, and 6 respondents strongly agree with this statement. The average result of the statement is that most of the respondents agree purchasing goods online is more convenient and cost-effective. It is because internet makes it easier for shoppers to compare price among suppliers. Prices are listed on the website so that shoppers may simply compare price by visiting several websites as opposed to to visiting different physical stores, which is costly and time consuming.
In 6.1, we can observe that the number of respondents strongly agree with this statement is 11 and 10 respectively, while there are 2 respondents with moderate skill and only 1 respondent strongly disagree with this statement. This is because good A and good B are substitute good. Substitute good are those goods that can provide the same satisfaction. Therefore, when the price of good A fell to a price, the demand will be increased. In conclusion, if the price of good A falls by 50%, 21 out of 24 respondents will purchase it. In 6.2, the mean of this statement 2.33 shows that the average respondents are likely disagree. There are 6 respondents strongly disagree, 8 respondents disagree, 7 respondents with moderate skill, 2 respondents agree, and only 1 respondent strongly agree with this statement. From the research, we can estimate that the market price of 2 pieces of chicken is about 12 ringgit. Therefore, if the price is greater than the average selling price, only a few respondents will purchase good A. That's all from me. Thank you.
6.3. Consumer behavior when the price of good B rises by 50%. From the table and graph in this slide, we can see that most of the respondents choose to purchase good A if the price of good B increase. The mean score of scale of AAA, which is close to 4, also indicates that the respondent would likely purchase good A if the price of good B increased by 15% with the assumption of ceteris paribus. And it can conclude that if the price of good B rises, the demand of good A will also increase. The positive relationship between the quantity demanded of good A and the price of good B has indicated that they are substitute. The positive relationship between the quantity demanded of good A and the price of good B can be clearly shown by using this graph in this slide. And the substitution relationship between good A and good B can be proved by using the calculation, which is cross elasticity of the demand. After the calculation, we found that the value of cross elasticity of demand between good A and good B is positive 1. This value has indicates that good A and good B are substitute between each others. This means that both goods can fulfill equivalent wants to the respondent. That's why most of the respondents, which is 13 agree and 5 don't really agree that they will choose to buy relatively cheaper good A if the price of good B rises by 15%.
Hi everyone, my name is Yap Jun Hong and my metric number is 286732. Now I will continue this presentation with the consumer behavior for good A when income increase. The given statement in this survey is, if my income increase 50%, I will purchase good A with assumption of ceteris paribus. Based on the table and graph, the research found that there are 6 respondents strongly agree, 7 respondents agree, 7 respondents moderate, 4 respondents disagree, and no respondents strongly disagree with this statement. In overall, this research illustrates that the average response to this statement in this poll was that most respondents agree that if their income increased, they would buy more goods. And in this research, the income elasticity of demand also can use to determine whether a product is a normal good or an inferior good. If a product has a positive income elasticity of demand, it can consider as a normal good. While if a product has a negative income elasticity of demand, means that the product is an inferior good. This study showed that the quantity demand of good A has a positive connection with the consumer income. It can show on the figure, when the income increases 50%, the quantity demand of good A will increase. This means that good A has a positive income elasticity of demand. Based on the theory of the income elasticity of demand, the good A is a normal good. The next research is based on the study of consumer behavior for both good A and good B when income increase. The statement given is, if my income increase 50%, I will purchase both good A and B. The table and graph show that there are 5 respondents strongly agree, 6 respondents agree, 4 respondents moderate, 8 respondents disagree, and 1 respondent strongly disagree with this statement. Generally, this research demonstrates that the average result for this statement in this survey is that most respondents are moderately confident that they will purchase both good A and B as their income rise. In case that this statement given is without ceteris paribus assumption, therefore, the consumer behavior will be influenced by many factors. As a result, when the consumer income increased by 50%, the consumer will be uncertain whether to purchase both good A and good B or either one. This is because the consumers are not only considering factors of the price of good A and B, also considering of their taste and quality when making their decision. That's all for me. Thank you.
In conclusion, there are 24 respondents have been asked to answer a list of questionnaire in this survey. For Part B, researchers found that consumer behavior will be affected by some factors like branded goods, price of goods, consumers' income, and online purchasing. For Part C, researchers found that the price of goods and consumer income will influence their behavior between good A and good B. So that's all for our group presentation. Thank you.